It happened about 4 years ago, though I don't remember the exact date. My family, me, my mum, my dad, and my younger sister, sold our house and moved in with my grandmother, who had just recently settled into her new home. Let me give a little detail. My grandmother's house was large, with 5 rooms, 2 corridors, a boiler room, and 2 entrances, a back door and a front door. My sister and I chose one room. My parents took the one next to it, and my grandmother kept her own. In the large hall, we left all our still unpacked things, bags, suitcases, and sacks. For some reason, we couldn't bring ourselves to unpack everything, and it stayed there untouched. One day, relatives came to visit and decided to stay the night. We arranged them so that I had to sleep in the hall on the sofa. I lay down calmly, read a little from a book, and began to drift off. Suddenly, I heard a rustling sound beside the bed. I didn't pay much attention, turned toward the wall, and was already slipping back into sleep when the rustling came again. Annoyed, I thought, "Oh great, mice. Good night to you, darling." But the sound didn't stop. It grew louder, more like scurrying, almost like footsteps. A mouse could never make that kind of noise. What unsettled me even more was the feeling that someone was watching me, silently observing. I tried to push the thought away and fall asleep again, but it was impossible. A chill ran across my arms and face like a cold draft, though both the door and window were tightly closed. Fear slowly crept in. I reached for my phone and checked the time. It was 1:30 in the morning, and then I heard footsteps. Real, distinct, human footsteps. I shone my phone's flashlight, but saw nothing. The sound of footsteps continued, and although nothing was visible, I was trembling with fear. I wanted to get up and turn on the light, but the switch was across the room, and I was far too afraid to move. The steps came closer to my bed, and I lay with wide open eyes, straining to see anything in the dark. Then, that something walked around the sofa and stopped directly behind me, near my head. I felt a cold shiver race across my skin, and the presence of that entity filled me with dread. The familiar room seemed suddenly twisted, taking on strange, ominous shapes. Even the cheerful little piggy bank shaped like a smiling gnome on the nightstand now looked sinister, grinning with malice. The fear was overwhelming. I couldn't scream, couldn't move. Terror held me frozen in place, and that presence stood right at the head of the sofa, breathing cold air down upon me. There was no chance of sleep anymore. I only managed to doze off once the first rays of sunlight touched the room. The next morning, I told my family everything, but no one really believed me. They said it must have been a dream, or maybe the cat making noise. But the cat had spent the whole night outside. I know what I experienced. I know it really happened.